Good evening, and you are welcome to today's session of Power Session with Jumoke. And this is the 22nd edition of it. And today is going to be question and answer time. We're going to look at PMI membership and certification. PMI stands for Project Management Institute. So we have membership and we have certification. And today is Monday, 27th October, 2025. PMI membership and certification are strategic investments in your professional growth, credibility, and global relevance. This is my quote. Sometimes people ask me, this money I want to spend on the certification, does it worth it? Will I get a job immediately? And I ask them sometimes that, what happens if you don't get a job immediately? Would you consider it as bad investment? What being a member of PMI and earning certifications, at least I have more than 6 of PMI certifications, what it has done for me is that it has increased my confidence when I'm talking, because it takes a lot of work, education, and then you acquire knowledge, you network with people, you have resources, like templates that can help you deliver on your job properly. It has increased my confidence and enhanced my delivery when it comes to work, when it comes to speaking on project management related issues. Today, the learning objectives are: 1, you will be able to understand who PMI is or what PMI is and why it matters. 2, you will discover the tangible benefits of PMI membership. You will also recognize the value of PMI certifications in building credibility and employability. You will learn how to start your PMI journey and choose the right certification, because often people don't know where or how to start. And then the fifth point is you will feel motivated to take immediate action toward joining PMI and certifying. Isn't that exciting? So let's look at the power of project management. What is it? One of the things you would first observe when you join your local chapter, in Africa, we have local chapters of PMI. We have in Ghana, we have in Nigeria, we have in Togo, we have in Benin, we have in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Mauritius, Niger. You have about 24 or so in Africa. One thing you will notice is a mix of different professions. You see medical doctors, lecturers, consultants, engineers, quantity surveyors, all in the chapter, because these are skills that all these professionals actually need to be able to excel. So the power of project management: every industry runs on projects, whether in business, in government, tech, or social impact. The world runs on project managers. Great project managers don't just deliver, they transform outcomes. And so it's not about, I went to uni, I did project management, or I didn't do project management. I tell people the project management skills, they are life skills that we all require. So whether you are a wife, you are a husband, you are a child, you are a student, you are an employee, you are an employer, you all need skills to be able to excel in what you do. And now, organizations do have strategies. They could have awesome, fantastic strategy, but implementing those strategies is being anchored or is being ridden by projects. So no matter how fantastic your strategies are, if you do not implement them through efficient and effective project management delivery, it's almost nil. So this would be a rhetorical question. Has anyone here been a part of a project that succeeded or failed because of how it was managed? I'm sure personally you would have such projects that maybe it was not planned well, or if it was planned well, then the project was successful, or it was not planned well, so the project was not successful, or it could have been better handled or managed if project management skills or processes were adhered to. So project management skills are essential. If, let's say you are a student, you went to uni, the duration of your project uni is 4 years. If you're in Ghana, if you're in Nigeria and you are doing some courses like engineering, that will be 5 years. Now, that is the timeline or duration of the project. Now you have to define the scope. What do I want to go out with? I want to come out with the first class. No, why? I need to also have fun. Okay, I will go out with a second class upper. Oh, no, second class lower is okay for me. That is you defining the scope. And whatever scope you define would influence your participation in class. You know, how maybe you may not go for parties when people are going for parties because you know how determined you are or what the scope is. You want to finish with first class. And when they give assignments, you will not be one of those that say, they will do it, especially if it's a group work. You put in effort because you know it may likely come in exam. So you prepare ahead. So the scope determines how you live your 4 years on campus. And that's a project. If you organize a birthday party, that's a project. Somebody is building and say, go and oversee it for me. That is execution phase. That's a project. If you are a father, you have your wife is pregnant, that's a project. You are stakeholders in that project. That pregnancy is 9 months. All things being equal by His grace is 9 months. You are hoping, you are praying that your wife will deliver naturally. But then you have a plan B. In case she doesn't deliver on her own and they need to do CS, how much is CS? You make that provision, the money available. That is risk management. So we are all project managers. You know, I tell people that there are 2 types of project managers. Type 1, they are in denial. I'm not a project manager. I don't have the title. So they do nothing to improve themselves, to increase the probability of the success of their project. Okay, so that's type 1. Type 2, they recognize and acknowledge that they are project managers and they put in the work, they learn, and they increase their delivery or they increase the probability of delivering their project successfully. So which one do you want to be? I'm assuming you're on this call so that it's either you have recognized that you are type 2 that acknowledges that you're a project manager, or by the time we finish this session, you would realize that you are a project manager. So let's look at PMI. Because sometimes people call me and say, Jimmy, I want to do PMI. I'm like, PMI is like the school, the institute. So PMI is Project Management Institute, and it was founded in 1969. Currently, membership is over 700,000 worldwide, and we have more than 300 chapters worldwide. So we have Ghana as a chapter, we have Nigeria as a chapter, and 2, the Project Management Institute, they set global standards. So when you become PMP certified, for instance, PMP is the leading global certification in project management. And the beauty of PMP is that if you earn your PMP in Ghana, in Togo, Nigeria, Liberia, US, it's the same. If you earn the PMP and let's say you go to US, you are not going to write another exam to prove that your PMP is valid or not. So it's a global standard. In fact, we call PMP the gold standard for project management. So Project Management Institute, that's PMI, they set global standards and they lead professional development for project leaders. 3, PMI is a trusted community of change makers. Like I said, you have all mix of individuals, new entrants, C-level members, and all that, like the CEOs, the CFOs. You have them in PMI. So the body is made up of change makers, people that are making changes in their countries and the world. PMI is not just an institute. It's a movement of professionals shaping the future of work. So we know where we are now, and PMI is shaping how we would work in future. So this is PMI at a glance. What are the values? So this one that you are talking, what is it? What will I gain if I become a member of PMI? I need to also let you know that membership of PMI does not require exam. All you need is your debit card and money in your account. So that's all you need to become a member. Now, you may now decide to write those certifications. So all what you are seeing here are members of are benefits of PMI membership. One, you will have access to exclusive tools and resources. If you become a member of PMI today, you can download the PIN book. That is for the PMP. You can download the Agile guide. You can download the guide for all the certifications for program management professional, portfolio management you can download all. You have access to templates. You have access to some webinars. Some webinars are for members only, or they are free for members, and non-members would have to pay. You have practice exams. You have learning content. In fact, as a member, PMI randomly drop free courses in your library. So it's one of the advantages of you becoming a member of PMI. It also gives you global networking. Can you imagine 300 plus chapters? So I'm here in Ghana. I have people I call twinnies in different countries. And I've never been to DRC before. I've never been to Cameroon before. I have never been to Zambia or Zimbabwe, but I have people that I call siblings that if I need something, maybe you are going to Zimbabwe or Zambia now, I have someone I could call. That's what a friend is coming or my sister is coming. Can you support? Can you help me do this? It is because of PMI. It's so amazing when we have conference and we meet, you would think we are from the same family. So it gives you global networking. And it's not only in Africa. I have people all over the world that haven't been to their countries before. So now you have, for me, I'm a member of 5 chapters. I'm a member of PMI Ghana. I'm a member of PMI Nigeria. I'm a member of PMI Liberia. I'm a member of PMI Angola. And I'm a member of PMI Togo. So you ask me, so one can be a member of multiple chapters. Yes, you can be. You just pay for it. So if I like, I can add 5 more to it. And I'll be a member of 10 chapters. Now, people ask me, why do you want to be a member of multiple chapters? Because each chapter has different goal. So you have PMI Ghana, maybe focusing on A. You have PMI Nigeria that is focusing on B. So you get to learn, and network within these people. So I see it as advantage. I also see it as my way of supporting these chapters. Another advantage is professional development. You have access to webinars, you have access to mentorship, you have access to leadership roles. So when I started, I said I became a member of PMI Ghana in 2011 as a founding member. I started volunteering. Now, volunteers of PMI, they have access to what we call LIM, Leadership Institute meetings. And these are leadership meetings. I mean, some of the sessions you have, there are sessions that people pay for, and we get it for free. So it prepares you for even leadership role outside your respective chapters. So I've been a board member since 2013 or so till date. I'm the immediate past president of PMI Ghana, so it makes me an automatic member of the board. And I have learned leadership, and it's a tough call because you are working with volunteers that you don't have that, what is it called, the formal authority or part to say, sit down, stand up, because you are the boss, you pay. You are all volunteers, you are not paying them. So this is where you learn how to lead people by influence, that people will still follow you. They will follow your leading. And it takes lots, to be able to do that. So I've learned that. And that is what PMI can do for you. And also, you have discount on certifications. Let me give you a mind-blowing one. If you want to write PMP, as a member of PMI Ghana, the exam will be $284 for you. So a member of PMI Ghana, Nigeria, all the chapters in Africa, and you are in Africa. Because you can be a member of PMI, any of the chapters in Africa, and be in, say, US or Australia, you will not get to pay that $284, because that's not what we fought for. We fought and convinced PMI that the earning is not the same, and so they should look into it, and thankfully they listen. If you're not a member, you pay $575 for the exam. See the gap? Then someone will say, okay, so how much is membership? Let me use Ghana as an example. The membership fee for Ghana is $144. So add $144 to $284 for the PMP exam, you will still be making savings. It will not be up to $575. So I tell my students, become member of PMI Ghana so that you can benefit the discount on certification. And it's not only on PMP, it's just that of PMP is huge. I wrote CP recently, PMI CP, that's construction professional. What I paid because I'm a member of PMI Ghana was cheaper than someone that is not a member. Renewals for the certificate. When you get your PMP certificate, you need to renew every 3 years. You need to get 60 PDUs. And previously we were paying $60. They've also given us discount. We are paying $42 or so now. But for someone that is not a member, the person also needs 60 PDUs, but the person will be paying 150 USD, not 60 or $42, you know. And if you want to buy PMBOK, if you went to a conference and you want to buy PMBOK, you'll be given at a discounted rate if you are a member, you know. And you can't lie that you're a member. They just they ask you for your PMI ID, they put it in and they realize that you're a member or you are not. So as the ATP, that's Authorized Training Partner with PMI Ghana, I'm in agreement with PMI. So if you go through PMI Ghana, you're a member, and you come for the training, it's automatic 10% discount for you. You know. Also, it's also a career central point for you. You get job boards, you get salary insights, you get advancement tools. So these are what you are exposed to as member of PMI. Now, PMI Ghana runs local events. We have professional development days. We have what we call Aquaba welcome for the new members. We have community impact project. This year, we had our national project management conference at Big Oda Aqua Safari, and we made donation. This Kino pump, what's the power machine, to power the is it the Kino, and with vests and all that. So we do that. Last year we had a conference and we used the Rock City Hotel. We also made donations. We went to paint schools. We gave them textbooks and exercise books. We are always doing health screening exercises. So we do lots of community impact projects. And the respective chapters in the country you are, they also do such giving back, and these are mostly led by members. They will make the contribution, they will be actively involved, and so we grow together, It gives that communal involvement. Now, certification. So I hope by now you have realized that membership is one path and certification is another. So for me, I became a member first before I did certification. I became a member because even then there was some discount. I think the discount was $405. The PMP was $405 when I wrote PMP, and it was $525 for non-member. So I decided to be a member so that I could take advantage of that. So membership, certification, they are mutually exclusive. You can choose to be a member and not write any of the certifications. You can decide to write the certifications and not become member. What it is you'll be spending more on the certifications, okay? You will not have access to download PDF of all these guides, all right? So they are mutually exclusive, but I will advise you become a member so that you can get advantage of this. So PMI certifications don't just add letters after your name. If I write my name now, I have lots of letters, PMP, Look, that is not it. Well, it's part of it, It gives you some but they open doors. It goes beyond that. They open doors because you have acquired skills and knowledge that when you apply to what you do, it will make you stand out. So PMI certifications validate your competence, your credibility, and commitment to excellence, because the exam is testing your knowledge. That's why you will need to have certain experience. If you are writing Agile, you must prove to PMI that you have agile experience. If you are writing the PMP, project management professional, you must prove to PMI that you have project management skills, experience. So the exam is, so when you now have PMP, the exam is saying, yes, Jumoke has the competence it takes to manage project, and she's credible and she's committed to excellence. That's what it says about you. So when people write PMP and they pass, one of the questions I ask is, how do you feel? Because it's like going through the fire and coming out. And you know the effort you put in place to study and the money you have spent. So when you pass, are you surprised that some people save their names and they put the PMP? I know. And also, PMI certifications are recognized by employers in more than 200 countries. I tell people you are looking for a job, you are yet to get job, please get PMP. That is if you have the experience. Add it to your name. Personally, I've been consulting since 2011. I have gotten recommendations or gotten projects by having PMP at the end of my name. What PMP says about you is that you can manage any project because you are handed, you are trained with the skills required to manage projects. So it's not like, okay, I can manage agricultural projects, I can manage health projects only. No, you'll be able to manage all kinds of projects. Then PMP certified professionals earn 20 to 25% more globally. I was intentional by putting the PMI salary survey. This was an outcome of the PMI salary survey that PMI conducted. This may not be entirely so for Africa, but in Africa, the relevance of PMI is increasing. It's increasing. If you have any of the PMI certifications and you will require PDUs, please scan this and send me your first name, your last name, and your PMI ID, not your PMP ID, not your ACP ID, your PMI ID. Thank you. Now, these are examples of certifications that we have. When you go to pmi.org and the home page, you will see some horizontal menu. You will see certifications, membership, learning, events. If you clicked on certification, it's a drop-down menu, and then you will see on your left the core certifications, and then you see on your right specialized certifications. Because I keep hearing this, people call me, Jumoke, what do you think I should do? Should I do this course first, or I should do this? And sometimes when you are advising, some people feel you just want their money. So I started with PMP. And starting with PMP, I see it as an advantage because the specialized courses are somewhat, please listen to the word I use, somewhat based on the PMP. For instance, if you did risk management professional and you have done PMP, you realize that in PMP, you have done risk as part of the knowledge, you have identified risk, so you know that for risk management, you have to identify risk, you have to analyze risk, and there are two ways to analyze risk, qualitative, quantitative, and then you need to come up with responses, how you are going to respond to risk if it is positive, how you are going to respond to it if it is negative, and then what is next, you need to monitor that, okay, this response that I put, first you need to monitor the risk you identified has become issue. If it has become issue, the responses you put in place, you implemented them, were they sufficient? Did they lead to secondary risk or residual risk? And then you control monitoring and checking and updating your log books and everything. You did that in PMP. When you are doing your risk management professional, it's the same thing, it's just that it's in detail. So you are not lost. The same with Agile certified practitioner, because you have done PMP, especially for the cohorts that are doing this from the PMP from 2nd January 2021 till date, you are doing Agile as part of what you are doing. So when you do your ACP, it's a build up on what you did. The recent construction professional that I did, which is an industrial certification, I've done scope management, I've done contract in PMP. So it was easier. It makes the job faster. When I did PBA, Professional in Business Analysis, and it's talking about the role of a project manager, it's not straight. You don't need to write PMP for you to write PBA. But because I had PMP, I didn't have to read so much on project manager. I just went straight to the business analysis side, and it helped me. So we have core certifications, and CAPM is the first. Sometimes people feel that it's a ladder. I have to first do CAPM, then I will now do PMP. It doesn't work that way. CAPM is meant for emerging professionals. You are a new graduate, you've never had project management work experience, and you want certification, go for CAPM. For me, I started with PMP because I was already managing projects. So it's for experienced project leaders. It doesn't mean that you have to be like senior project manager. No. All you need for PMP is 3 years project management work experience, and for you to be able to prove it. So for me, since I know it's a challenge, I have a template that I use for my students. I have captured some project management work experience just to guide them. Then they can now use it to express their own project management work experience, because they're just going to type on the online portal. So if you have it, just copy and you paste it there. So for PMP, you need 3 years project management work experience if you have at least a degree. If you do not have at least a degree, you need 5 years of project management work experience. Okay, now the third core certification is PGMB. This stands for Program Management Professional. You know what program is? It's a combination of multiple projects that are interrelated to arrive at a common goal. Then you have the PFMP, Portfolio Management Professional, that is made up of program and projects. So these are core certifications. And now we have, sorry, these are specialized certification, not core. This second one, you have the PMI CP, AGI Certified Practitioner, you have the RMP, Risk Management Practitioner, you have the PBA, Professional in Business Analysis, you have the PMI, I'm so sorry, the PMI PMO, it's supposed to be PMO, Project Management Office Certified Practitioner. You have the PMI CP, which is for construction professionals. This focuses on construction, communication, interfaces, you know. So these are specialized certifications. And then, so how do you choose? This is just a guide. Don't say, Jumoke said this is how it must be done. This is just a guide. Your certification journey depends on where you are and where you want to go. Was it yesterday or Saturday in one of my classes, I was telling my students that, but when the year is going to an end, I'm thinking, where do I want to be in the next 3 years? In terms of what I do and my organization. And I start thinking, what certification do I need to do? So at the beginning of the year, so 2026, I will have a new notebook and will itemize the certifications that I think are suitable for me. Then I'll go and read about it. If it is by PMI, I'll go to PMI's website and read myself about it. But people who don't read, they will just call you and tell me about it. I say, oh, go to PMI.org. Oh, you tell me, I've called you already. And I'm like, hey, how do you trust me that I'm not the owner of the certificate? So that's what I do. So where you are and where you want to be would influence you. Why I did PBA was that as a researcher, my clients would come and they are talking about pre-project phase, and I'm just looking. I couldn't really contribute much. I realized that, I need this. So I read about it. I attended on some online courses and I wrote the exam. In 2020 or 2021 or so, PMI did a survey, and they looked at organizations that handled the aftermath of of COVID well, and they realized that the organizations that had risk management culture, they were able to bounce back or address the risk the COVID posed. It's like, okay, I consult for businesses. I really need to have in-depth knowledge of risk management. That was why I did risk management professional. So it is not because I just want to train, it's because I want to be useful, be relevant for the businesses that I consult for. You see, so you need to first assess yourself. You need to first do what you call needs assessment. This is where I am. These are the skills that I have. This is where I want to be. Okay, so from where I am now to where I want to be, what do I need? That is one of the ways to determine the certifications you should go for. So this is just a quick guide. You look at the level, you look at certification, and we look at what is ideal for. So when you are at the entry level, you should be looking at CAPM, as I explained, as the early career or transitioning professionals. It doesn't ask much about situational, like scenario based. PMP is scenario based. It's painting a scenario and asking you as a project manager, what will you do? As a project manager, what will you do to avoid this? As a project manager, what will you do to handle this? So if you are new, you may consider CAPM. If you are mid, you've been around for a while, you consider PMP, which is also a core certification, and it's ideal for experienced project managers. Experience here, if you have at least 3 years, if you have a degree, that you are good to go. If you have at least 5 years, if you do not have a degree, you are good to go. And then specialized ones, they are the PMI, CP, PMI, RMP, PMI, PBA, PMI, PMOCP, and it's for those seeking niche expertise. You see, you want to stand out, all right? Then we have the industry, which is PMICP. It's one of the new, in fact, it's the newest. No, it's one of the newest because we have sustainability now. And this is for construction and infrastructure professionals. So stories of transformation, I will use myself as example, because when I came across PMI and I was asked to go and read about it, I came back, I said, no, it's for IT people, it's not for me. Because the person who introduced me is actually into IT. So no, go and read it again. I read, I was like, okay, it can be good for me. Let me see what I can do. So I realized that, okay, being a member, I could have access to the guides and so I don't need to write the exam. But I was encouraged and I wrote the exam. And I realized that I see everything as projects. I see the importance of planning. And it's not making it look like I dey carry go, like I'm overly serious. Because every time I'm measuring, I'm looking at risk. I'm defining my scope. I've become better in communication. Someone can be talking, I'm like, you have not said anything. Because communication is providing answers to questions that have not been asked. So let's say you said, where do you live? Okay, give me direction to where you live. The first thing I'm supposed to ask you is, from what direction are you coming from? But some people will just start giving the direction, go straight, turn left, because the turning left depends where the person is coming from, because your left may be that person's right. So as then you tell me where you are coming from. I say, okay, get to this place. I give you a landmark. That's about 300 to 500 meters because I have not measured it. That's why I would say 300 to 500 meters. On your left, I think the second turning on your left, you go and then look for the first turning on your right, and then this is my house number. It's not like go straight, go, because your go may not be my go. So I've become very intentional in communication. I've become intentional in hearing, listening to what people are not saying. In fact, I'm becoming better in hearing what people are not saying. Sometimes you ask someone, how are you? The person says, I'm fine. You just know that there's an automatic default response. That's okay. I know you've told me that, how are you? But how are you really? And sometimes you are that person for that person at that time, that the person needs someone to talk to. So you also realize that you are a leader. You are not just leading people to deliver. If they are not mentally okay, if they are not emotionally okay, they can't deliver. So you need to show interest as a leader in the people you work with. And these are some of the things that becoming member or having certifications, leading people would help you to do. Often when I talk about emotional intelligence, people make it sound as if it's about you, it's about the people I'm leading. No, emotional intelligence starts with you. You being self-aware, knowing your excesses, and then managing them. And then after you've identified and managed yours, then you can now identify others and manage them. You will be vulnerable. I tell people vulnerability because I've now realized that vulnerability is not weakness. It's actually from a place of strength. Your ability to actually own up that I don't know this is because you are strong mentally and emotionally. And you know that you saying you don't know it does not reduce you. So it comes from a place of strength. But when you don't know, and you are denying that you don't know, it's from a place of weakness, because you feel when they know that I don't know, it will reduce my power, it will reduce my authority. So that's my personal story. I am quick to say I'm sorry if I'm working with my team and I'm wrong. And I have also learned to air my voice. I don't keep quiet if I feel something is right. And I've also realized that as you go along this journey in project management and leadership, that it's okay to lead from behind. You don't need a title. You cause change that you want to see. And with time, what you do and how you impact projects and lives will speak on its own. So that is my story, combined stories. So behind every certification is a story of growth, credibility, and leadership. The way you look at things cannot be the same after you earn your PMP. That is if you are committed to using it all. It's not that you earn it and then say this thing that they've been talking about, I have it, come on. And then you business as usual. That's not what I'm talking about. Please don't forget to scan this and send me your first name, your last name, and your PMI ID if you are certified for PDU. Okay, so let's get you started. 1, please visit pmi.org and create a PMI account. There are 2 accounts. You can create a registered account that you will not pay, but it doesn't make you a member. Or go ahead and pay, then you become a member. It's pmi.org. I don't have dollar accounts. In Africa, your card, they would deduct the equivalent of the USD in your local currency. No be so. 2, please join your local chapter to connect with peers. Because your next job may be in the hand of the person seated beside you in one of the meetings. 3, choose your certification. Once you have chosen your certification, go for training. Stop asking for, do you have materials that I can use? Because you don't want to pay. Go for training, pay, and start learning. Engage in webinars, volunteer. In fact, volunteering is one of the ways for you to discover yourself, because you are doing what you will not be paid for. And then you also have access to mentorship. Okay. Don't wait to be ready. Start, and readiness will follow. It's like sometimes some people will come for the training. They'll say, I'm so busy, Julie. I'm waiting for when I'll be less busy. I say, well, until you die, unless you die. Because most of you are family members. Maybe you're a wife or you're a husband. You have kids. You have demanding job. So when will you become less busy? When your children have gone to uni? Or when? So you have to strategically look for time out of the time you have. So let me use myself as example. I'm checking my mind because I'm also on TikTok. When I was going to write my PMP, my kids were younger. So there's no way you can study when they are awake. Most of the time, I study when they are asleep. Mind you, I was doing 8 to 5. So by the time I get home, I'm tired. One thing you also need to learn about yourself is find out what day, time of what day, the time of the day person you are. So what I mean is I'm a morning person. I assimilate things faster in the mornings. Even if I want to write mail and maybe I'm angry or something, I will not write the mail during daytime. I will leave it, sleep, wake up. At that time, I'm very objective. Emotions will not be directing what I write. I'll be able to switch into a professional mode and write the email that subsequently, when I read it, I realize that I was not emotional about it. So I always target studying in the morning. However, if I am unable to read in the mornings, I try to take power nap. So let's say in the evening or afternoon, I need to study. I've not studied well. I just take a power nap, maybe 30 minutes. I set alarm. Then I wake up, wash my face, get something to munch on, and I start reading. Because then, like, you have given your brain a kickstart. All right. So you need to find that. Whether you are a morning, and some people are blessed, they are all day, they can study in the morning, afternoon, evening. And I also know that me, I can sit down and be studying for 5 hours, say who die. It's like something is saying, get up, get up. I'll get up. So I will not compare myself to someone that can study 5, 7 hours. Even though when I went to Gimpa, I did it too. It was not that productive, but I did it because I realized that I needed to do it. So you need to study yourself so that you can be productive in your learning. So what this quote is saying is, don't wait until you feel like it, yeah, I have time now, or you are waiting until I have time before you do it. Start now. Okay? Leaders are not born. They are certified, they are mentored, and evolved one project at a time. So 1, become a PMI member today. 2, begin your certification journey. 3, be part of a global community of impact. PMI membership is not just about joining a professional body. It is about joining a movement of leaders who make things happen. The world needs more project leaders. The world needs you. Okay? So that's the end of my presentation. Please connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I am Jumoke Lafenwa on all these social media handles. And my company, Okin Valley, is Okin Valley on all these social media handles. So one of the ways you can support what I do is to connect with me. I'm also on TikTok as Jumoke Lafenwa. So please connect with me. And Okin Valley is also on TikTok. Please connect and support what I do. So now it's time for questions. Let's have it. Okay, so this QR code is for those that wants PDU, Professional Development Unit. So you scan it so that it's a WhatsApp. When you scan it's a WhatsApp business line, you'll be able to send your name, your first name, your last name, and your PMI ID if you are certified and you need PDUs. Is there a threshold of the number of certifications one can get? For instance, can I get a certified? Yes, you can get certified in all of them. Abubakar, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can unmute your mic as well to ask your questions. Let me check TikTok if anyone is asking questions.
Oh, okay. Hi, good evening. I wanted to type, but I heard that you said one can unmute. Thank you.
Yes, please. Yes, go on.
Is it possible to get certified as a non-member? And if you get certified as a non-member, how do you earn PDUs if you're not a member?
Yes, you can get certified as a non-member. Once you attend meetings, okay, so let me take PMI Ghana, for instance. When you are at the meeting, they will share a form, a link to a form, and then you write your name as it appears with PMI. That's another thing. Some people will have Rosemary Akpo with PMI, and then they will write Fumilayo Akpo. They are not the same. So it makes it difficult to identify you. So when you are filling such forms, you present the same name that you have with PMI and your PMI ID. They will assign the PDUs for you. But I just feel that, why do you want to write exam as a non-member when you can write as a member at a discounted rate? But yes, you can write as non-member. And you get your.
Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so Mark, I just want to point out where you mentioned about volunteering. I think everybody knows how volunteering is actually very important But I think one of the challenges I have faced over the years is there is a very limited opportunity, even when it comes to volunteering. Yeah. So my question goes thus, how do one bridge the gap of limited opportunities when it comes to volunteering? Perhaps there might be something that one during the application is missing out on the like. Thank you.
Okay, so I hear limited opportunities, and I also hear something in the application. So I'm trying to reconcile the two.
Okay, so I'm just going to give an instance. There is a PMI volunteer advert that is out for a while. I mean, having understand that it comes with a limited slot for people, but yeah, a lot of people wanted to volunteer. So in that kind of situation, how do one bridge the gap? And I've also had a lot of other volunteers application like, okay, I want to volunteer to do this, but I mean, it's been unsuccessful in the recent. So yeah, I just want to ask the best approach for volunteering, pretty much.
All right, thank you very much. I was VP volunteering with Ghana chapter for 3 years. And before I became VP volunteering, I was the secretary. So I was almost involved in interviews. I was almost involved in sorting applications, application letters. And I must say, some people don't approach the application with the seriousness it warrants. When I started volunteering, we had DG Ishmael, who was the first African region mentor, having served Nigeria chapter as the president. And he had a session with us because, there were some conflicts and people were not performing. And so he met with the board. And what it is said, I think 2012 or so, I can't forget. He said, if you will not dedicate almost the same time, the same professionalism to your volunteering work, you have no business volunteering. So, like, after all, is volunteering. That is not a language for someone that is a professional. So that actually guided me on my approach to volunteering. It is true that there will be limited opportunities. But in 2016, after I finished my tenure, I finished my VP volunteering tenure in 2016. So this 2017 was free for me. And I said I was tired. I wasn't going to go for any election. So I didn't go for election. But mind you, I've been serving since 2011. So members still came to me, Jumoke, help me renew my membership. Jumoke, how do I go about it? Jumoke, I need videos. Because if I started volunteering as admin assistant, right from then I was already assigning PDUs because the then president put me through. So I felt that I'm no longer a volunteer, but people are still calling me. Let me volunteer for something. But then I was preparing to go back to school for my second master's. I knew I would not have time. What did I do? I started thinking of what I can do. And I just identified our social media. Most of the social media in Ghana, I created them for the chapter. Some of the LinkedIn for PMI Africa, I created that, So we are not doing well on social media. So I crafted my role and I wrote to the portfolio head, VP Outreach, that I would like to be managing the social media because I wouldn't have to be there in person. And it's something I can do anytime in the morning, at night. And I remember he didn't want to interview me. Why? Because I interviewed him for him to be on the board. And I said, it doesn't matter. I don't need the title. I just want to be useful. I want to do something for the chapter. And so I played this role in 2017, 2018. In 2018, I went back to school. Then I had mastered my time and everything. And I came back to apply for the position of the president. So I came from director of communication to become president of PMI Ghana. I'm saying this story that, one, availability of time was an issue for me. And so I had to look for what I can do that will not take so much time. There are roles, there are voluntary roles that maybe it will be for 1 year, it will be for 2 years, but they are ad hoc volunteering roles. Maybe there's conference, they want volunteers to do this. Maybe they want to visit somewhere. You can start with that. And then when it comes to application, take it as if you're applying for a job. Because that is one of the errors. People just feel, volunteering, I'm spending my time, something that they will not pay us for, and they will just approach it. And then when they come for interview, I mean, all the interviews I've sat in, if I said that, I will not say you will not perform, I will just say, I'll be surprised if you perform. 95% of that I've been proven right, because they come for interview, they don't even know what they volunteer for. So tell me, a moment, please, tell me what you volunteer for. And they are speaking French. Like, they are not even sure. Some don't even know, they will not remember the name of the position they volunteer for. Already you are saying you don't pay attention to details. So in your application, they are looking for somebody that is showing interest, knows what is volunteering for, understands that this is actually freebies, and trust you me, it's actually not freebies, because I have gotten consulting opportunities from volunteering. People will just look at you and say, the way this lady is so diligent, doing something that she's not paid for, what if she's paid? Are you available? I've gotten some offers like that. So there could be lots of things. It could be as a result of the people who are responsible for the volunteering, they are not doing their due diligence. But I'm picking it from your perspective as the person volunteering. Do your best, as in investigate and understand the role very well. Apply as if it's a professional thing. If you are a call for interview, go as if you are being interviewed for a paid job. Maybe that will be helpful. And if it is also leadership thing, hopefully someone is hearing here and can relay to the leaders, and then they will do something about it. Please, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did, ma. Thank you very much. Very
Yes,
well explanatory. Thank you.
and you can always get in touch with me on WhatsApp and let's talk.
Okay,
If
thank you very much. I'll do that, ma.
throw more light on PDUs and its relation with PMP certification. PDU stands for Professional Development Unit. Professional Development Unit. PMI doesn't want, after you've gotten the certification, to go and sleep. Say, aha, thank God, finally, I've gotten it. They don't want you to do that. They want you to continue learning. They want you to continue learning. So for PMP, you need 60 PDUs in 3 years. When I was about to write PMP, that was my headache. How do I get 60 PDUs? So how do I get 60 PDUs? But I tell my students, it's the easiest, getting PDUs, especially if you're in Ghana. Every month, we hold chapter meeting. Physical, that's hybrid. We encourage in-person more. That's 2 PDUs. Every week, we hold book review. We'll pick a book, and then we meet virtually every Tuesday to read it. And then we'll meet and discuss. That's 1 PDU. So that 4 in a month, that's 4 PDUs. Plus the 2 PDUs for the end of the month meeting, that's 6 PDUs. If you are a member of PMI Ghana Toastmasters Club, we have a dedicated Toastmasters Club for the chapter. They hold meetings twice a month. That's 1.5 PDU. And then 2 meetings is 3 PDUs. How many PDUs be that? 9 PDUs in a month. And then we hold conference. The conference, you have about between 12 and 14 PDUs. We hold end of year dinner, you get PDUs. We have webinars in between. Maybe a branch, what Nigerians will call outreach, is holding a webinar. We open it for chapter members to join, whether you are in that location or not. That's another 1 PDU. Professional development will also come with a webinar, maybe on how to write CV, on career, what. There's another PDU. So as for PMI Ghana, PDU, no be wahala. And what we also do is the PDUs are assigned for you. So you attend, then attendance form is shared. You fill the Google form. Then the professional development unit, they would assign the PDUs for you. So your job is to attend and fill the form. That's all. So you get a 60 PD. For me, I get my 60 PDUs by the first half of my 3-year cycle. So by the 6th month of a new 3-year cycle, they are sending me reminders. You have all your PDUs, pay now and recertified. I tried it once. They will add the remaining 2.5 years to the next 3-year cycle. It's too long, so I wait and complete the 3 years. So the essence of the PDUs is to ensure that you are learning continuously. So attending conferences, reading books, so you can claim the PDUs yourself. If you read the book, you attended a conference that is not PMI, but it's project management related. If you go to the CCRS page, you will see how you can assign your PDUs yourself. But if you are in any difficulty, you can also get in touch, and I'm happy to help. So these 2 QR code, this is a WhatsApp and this is a channel. No, sorry, this is the channel where anything you see me post in the Nigeria WhatsApp page or the Ghana, I would have first posted it in the channel. It's my way of giving back, supporting individuals that are in project management. So I hope I answered your questions on the PDU. And you have to be certified for the PDU to be relevant. If you are not certified, project management development unit, you have no business with it. Yes, any other question, please? Any question?
Yes, yes, hello.
Hi.
Yes, I have a quick question for you. Thank you so much for the explanation. I wanted to inquire, is there any recommended time that you think, for the person that is prepared for the PMP? I know everybody would be at different level, but is there any time that is too much for you to, be prepared for the exam?
Sorry, I don't understand.
I'm asking, is there any like a recommended time? Like how long do you think someone can actually use to prepare for the exam? Is there any time that is too much to say, oh, like maybe 3 months, 6 months? I know people are at different levels, but I just wanted to know whether there is any like a recommended time, like a standard time I think most people can actually get prepared for the
Okay.
exam.
Okay, I get you now.
Thank you.
Welcome. For me, I don't like when people drag it. Let's say you're spending 3 months, 4 months, 6 months to prepare. What that does is life would happen. Things would happen and it will take your attention away. It will water your concentration. So I always believe in hitting the iron when it's hot. Do it, and then you remove your hand from it. So like this year, the formula I use for my training is 6 Saturdays. And I realize it's dragging because it means that's in 6 weeks. By the time you meet your students, let's say you started this Saturday, next Saturday, some of them have even forgotten what you did last Saturday. So I'm going back to what I used to do. Saturday, Sunday, 3 weeks you are done. You should be able to write the exam in the next 2 weeks. Because on the last day, and it has happened, even with this 6 weeks, I've had students that because of the last day of the training, I guide my students to apply. You apply with PMI that you want to write the PMP exam that day. And it takes PMI about 4 to 5 working days to get back. So once PMI gets back, so I finished on Saturday. Whilst we are waiting for PMI to get back, these folks are attempting simulators, they're solving questions, they are asking questions for clarification. By the time, maybe Thursday or Friday, that PMI comes back, they pay immediately and they schedule their exam. They write the following week. So in total, 8 weeks, 2 months for the training and preparing for exam. So when I go back to 3 weeks, Saturday, Sunday, 3 times, it means you can write your exam, you can do the training and writing exam in 5 or 6 weeks.
Thank you, Jumoke. Thank you.
Most welcome. But also, you need to also listen to yourself. You need to watch yourself. You know your strength. Some people don't like rush. They take their time and then they write and pass. What is the essence if you rush and you didn't pass anyway? So you need to look at yourself, your strengths. But if you are saying, I'm busy now, when I wrote PMP, I was waking up 3:30. I was waking up 3. Then I will struggle. At that time, 2, 3 is when sleep they sweet well. But I didn't want the money to waste. The money actually wasted because I failed the first attempt. I wake up 3, and that was why I was angry at the world, except myself. It's like, how can I be an engineer? I've never failed before. I said I won't write again, but Charlie, my kids knew I was preparing for exam. So they were asking, mommy, the exam you said you were writing, have you written it? I couldn't say yes, because if you say yes, they will ask, did you pass? I didn't know, I didn't want to lie to. So when they ask, I'll be busy, I'll be as if I have not heard. So for like 2 months, I was tossing them like that. And I realized that I have to write this exam. What you are telling your children not to fail? You are failed. You are not doing anything about it. So I think it was about 2 or 3 years that they realized that they were actually the motivation that made me rewrite the PMP. So I work with people to even manage their time. And look, if you drive to work and your organization have provision for transportation, 2 or 3 times in the week, don't drive. Join the bus. Whilst you're in the bus, you can study. If you watch football match or you sit with your boys and you are arguing who is the best player, who is the most expensive player, waiting concern, they give you some of the money. No. So for that period, you may stop that. You may reduce the time you watch football, because I'm sure there will be portion where they will show highlights. If you're watching football, waiting they give you. So just that period, if you're a lady and you are also always watching telenovelas, reduce it, for that period. Then you get your PMP, you can go back to it. But it requires dedicated time. I mean, you have to surround yourself with PMP. When I do my virtual session, it's recorded. So when I give it to my students, they have access to video, audio, and some play the audio when they are driving to work or when they are coming back from work. They watch the video when maybe they have time to do that. So you surround yourself. If you look at my work table, but unless I'm not preparing for exam, I have paper, small paper, big paper, exercise book. I go to washroom. Why will you go to washroom to go and do major? And you are just there doing like this for 10 minutes. Hey, it's a crime. You can take something like to remind you, use flashcards, like just constantly you saturate yourself. They ask you something like this, something else, you're talking about project management. Oh, sorry. That is how to pass PMP. You can't pass PMP by occasional studying. You can't pass PMP that way because it's wide. The content is a lot. It's a lot, but if you pick it like a story, that's what I tell people. Okay, so the PMP has 6 lessons, but know that the lesson 1 or even the lesson 1, that's where you have the business environment. That's where you define project, you define what project management is, and the charter would have been given. A business analyst had already worked on needs assessment, has come up with gap, and it's okay to address this gap. Project has to be executed. Oh, okay, project has to be executed, and then the business case came up to justify that this project is ideal and we will get benefit from it. We will get benefit from it. That will be benefit management plan. So in that benefit management plan, you will state what the benefits are, and then you come up with metrics to be able to measure the benefits when you achieve them. Oh, okay. Then we have different organizational structure, functional, matrix, projectized, or composite. What are they? Okay. Now if you're managing projects, you need to know what the project governance is. Why do you need project governance? So that you have one point of call that you report to. Okay. Then even when you're managing projects, there are things you need to comply to. And the compliance, they could be internal, they could be external. How do you determine the external factors that you have to comply to or that may have impact on your project? How would you be able to identify them? You can use prompt list, prompt like PSTLE or VUCA, VUCA, or SWOT analysis, SWOT, to be able to determine what the factors are. Okay. So at this point, you have a project charter. And then what does the project charter does? The project charter is what tells you what the project is and appoints you as a project manager. And that's what empowers you to start using resources. And you are mindful that when you're talking about resources in PMP, you're not talking, money is not part of it. You're talking about the human, you're talking about material, you're talking about equipment. Okay. So now you have the charter, you are the project manager. What do? You start work. You start project. What do you do when you start project? You identify your stakeholders. Why do you need to identify stakeholders? You need them to help you define your scope and plan your scope, because in planning your scope, you have to collect requirements from them. In this project, they said we should be 3 bedrooms flat. What do you want to see in it? Oh, we want every room to have its separate bathroom. We want a living room. We want kitchen. These are requirements. So who will you be asking this from? They're your stakeholders. So you need to come up with stakeholder. And so when you identify your stakeholders, you come up with stakeholder register. But we know that all the stakeholders cannot be the same. So you need to analyze and be able to assign whether they are key stakeholder or they are just ordinary stakeholders like me. How will you do that? You will use power, power, influence, and interest to assess them. What this Jumoke that we have listed as one of the stakeholders, what interest does she have in the project? She doesn't have any interest, she doesn't have any power. Then Jumoke will drop down. So this is power, influence, grid. Okay. So after you identify your stakeholders and all that, what next? You form your team. But we need a team charter to be able to form your team. What does the team charter does? The team charter states the scope of the project, mentioned will state the sponsor, the team members, the roles and responsibilities. The initial team charter will not have Jumoke as part of the team members. Yusuf is part of it. No, it just rules. We need an architect of this level of cadre. We need a quantity surveyor. We need a caterer. We need a cleaner. We need, and then each of the role, this quantity surveyor, these are the responsibilities. The architect, these are the responsibilities. The cleaner, these are the responsibilities. After you are finished, then you look within your team. Cleaner, Jumoke has the skills. Cleaner, Jumoke. Architect, Yusuf, put them there. Then Jumoke, these are the roles that this is your role and these are your responsibilities, so that Jumoke understands what the rules are. What that even does for your project is that it eliminates some level of conflict. There's no assumption. I thought I was the one that would do it. I thought you are the one that would do it. Clearly. So you have formed your team. After you form your team, you ensure that everybody's on the same page. They have the same understanding of what the project is about. How will you do that? It's through communication and ensuring that information is readily available. Then after this, your team has gone through the Tuckman 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. You now decide, you will decide what methodology are we going to use? Is the project going to be adaptive? What are the stakeholders saying? And valid delivery. The scope of the project, is it clear? If the scope is clear, then we can plan it, extensively. That will be predictive. Part of the project is clear, part of the project is not clear. Okay, so that will be hybrid. That's how lesson 2 finishes. Now you have your team members in place, you have your stakeholders, then you plan your project. Why are you planning projects? Why do we need to plan projects? Is to know how to go about the project if it is predictive, how to execute, how to monitor, how to control, how to close the project. Okay, what about adaptive? Adaptive, you guys say that we don't plan. So why do we need to plan? You plan so that you can have guardrails, so that you know the boundaries, not to go out. You have to stay within this space. Oh, okay, that's why we plan for both adaptive and predictive. Okay. Then what do we plan? Scope. You now define your scope. You define what the project would deliver and the art of scope. The project is to be 3 bedrooms with each room having bathroom and having a garden space, having washroom without a garage. Usually you get that without a garage when you engage your stakeholders through the what is it called? Requirement elicitation. Oh, okay. So that's how you plan your scope. Then you have a baseline. Then you plan your schedule, you do your network diagram, you do the WBS, and then you have the work packages, then you break the work packages down into the respective activities. Then you have your what is it, activity list, and then you do your network diagram based on precedence and dependencies. So then when you finish, identify the number of parts, you calculate the duration. Then the longest one will be the critical part. You say, hey, this critical part is 13 months. That's what you tell management that the project is 13 months. Then you make sure you monitor all the activities on the critical part, because if anything happens, the project, the duration will be elongated. So you now have a baseline schedule, and the estimation, you can use analogous, you can use parametric, you can use triple point, optimistic, most likely, pessimistic, and be mindful there are two kinds. You have the average and you have the PRT, or the weighted average. So you use that estimation for schedule and then cost or budget. Then you aggregate everything. Then you have your budget baseline. Then you have your schedule baseline. You also do for a risk. You identify risk, you analyze risk, you come with responses, then you have baseline. The same with quality, the resources. Resources, when you are working and you realize that you have to buy something from a third party, that's where procurement comes in. Then you have to make procurement strategy, and then you have a plan. Then you also determine the contract. That's when you have to know the types of contract. Okay. So what are the different types of contract? There are three main contracts: cost reimbursable, fixed price, and the time and material. Okay. So all these plans that we have, so how are you going to use them? You have to integrate them. So because your inability to integrate all the plans together is as good as you not having plans. Oh, okay. Okay. So now you have plans in place. What is next? Your team would have to implement. So that's why we are planning. So your team will follow the plan and they start delivering. And so as a project manager, that is what, the exam, 42% of the exam is based on people, and most people fail it because of how we think. You think because you are the project manager, you just back out and sit down, stand up, sleep. No, I'm talking, you are talking, who are you? And that reflects on how we deal with people. But PMI is not expecting you to deal with people. The first principle that PMI introduced in this 7 pinball is that you are a respectful steward. So you must respect your team. And that's how emotional intelligence came in. Knowing yourself, you are working with people, you have to respect them, you have to let them feel dignified, you have to let them know that you listen to them. Collaboration, active listening, communication, and that's it. So the lesson 4 is based on you leading people, and it starts with you crafting your leadership style. I'm amazed when you ask people, they tell you, this is my leadership style. You cannot have one leadership style. You may have a default leadership style, but you cannot manage a project, manage people with the same leadership style from beginning to end. It's not possible. You can't, if you are managing people that are not that skillful, your approach will be different to when you are managing people that are skillful, they are matured. You cannot be on their neck and be calling them every time, So lesson 4 is focus on leadership, and even you understanding your team members, understanding where they will need help so that you can make recommendation for training. Then lesson 5, when you did your plan, you had baselines. So lesson 5 is where you'll be measuring actual against your baseline or the plan value. That's what you do. So all what you plan for, you'll be assessing them in lesson 5. And then lesson 6, you close the project, which most of us don't do. You finish your project, then you say you are finished. You have not conducted the administrative closure by signing, paying everybody up. If resources you took A4 sheet is left, return it. You took 20 pence, you use 15, return the 5, you close it. That's why 6 months after you finish project, your boss will still come to you and ask you and make it look like the project was still ongoing. Say, this project, have you not finished? Because you didn't close it. If you closed it, if he came to you, it becomes a new project. And that's it. You see, that is very nice. That's all what PMP is about. Did you enjoy the summary? Hello. Hey, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah, you are.
you are very
Now,
audible. With the summary of the whole matter, in fact, I'm very impressed. God bless you.
Thank you. Amen. All right. So do you
Hi,
have any
ma.
questions, Sam?
Good evening. Thanks for this insightful explanation for us to be PMI certified. And I would like to thank you so much that apart from calls some time ago that I had some surgery. Because of that, I postponed my exam schedule. Fortunately enough, I was able to write the exam last week Thursday and I passed.
Oh,
And one
congratulations.
thing, thank you, madam. And it's unfortunate that mine is an invert of what you said because I did not become a member before writing the exam. So I spent a lot because I have to buy the study hall, a whole lot of things. But your lectures on the YouTube assisted me a lot. It helped me so much. And I would like to say thank you very much. But one thing is that I've now registered for the global membership, likewise the Ghana chapter. But I've not received any email from the Ghana chapter. I don't know whether it has gone through, but I've already paid it on that.
Okay. So sorry about that. Please scan my WhatsApp number and let's pick this offline. I would follow up with the volunteer responsible for membership, and I can assure you that they will get in touch with you.
Very much.
Amen. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So do you have any question? Otherwise, we can call it a day and meet again next week. If you are interested in maybe giving summary or something about project management, this is a community. Let's all contribute our quota. So it's not only for people who are certified. We are looking at, amen, thank you. We are looking at ensuring that we all manage. For some reason, I just see Africa as one, and I feel that we talk too much about our problems. The problems are there, but we can solve one problem at a time, all of us. And can you imagine us doing a bit, and then you put it together, it becomes a whole. So yes, I just want to contribute my quota and leave a good legacy. You know, before God calls me, I finish my race here on earth. So I enjoy what I do because today will be the 22nd edition of me having this power session, just 1 hour, at least 1 hour, talking about project management, trying to support people to write PMP and all that. And I even want to move from just PMP because when people write PMP, then they settle. There are other things you can do. You can look at the specialized courses, and it just changes how you do things. It changes even how you talk because you know so much, and then your approach to work changes, and you see things differently. Because my older daughter was 2011 when I did PMP. It was like project management was automatic thing in their house. So when they go to school and they are talking about, hey, my mates are not planning, I'm like, you are just blessed you grew up with a mother that is into project management, because you talk about you communicating clearly. So think as you are talking, you are listening to yourself. Have I communicated? Sometimes I'm talking and I'm like, okay, no, scrap that, and I will rephrase it, because I have realized that what I just said is not conveying the message I intended. And then like requesting for feedback, what's your understanding of what I just said? Most of us don't do that. And then people just go and do things based on their assumptions. Because if you know this principle, this communication, that you are the encoder, you encode your message, then you pass it through someone. And then the medium between you and the person that is receiving it, that will decode the message, there's a noise. And this noise is based on our experience, our upbringing, experiences that we've had, education, our gender, our community. In fact, we are biased, but we are not even aware that we are biased. And it influences. Have you not heard somebody saying that I got a text and the person saying no? Then I asked, was it a voice note? The person will say no. So it was a text. So how did you know the person said no? Maybe the person just said no. But you see, our mentality or the impression you have about someone would influence how you will read a text and pick fight from it. You understand what I'm saying? So you become so conscious, about human beings, especially when you look at emotional intelligence and you are sincere. You will be like when Isaiah saw God and he started saying, "Woe unto me," but excuse me, sorry, I'm a Christian, so I will use a biblical example. From chapter 1 to 5, he was saying, "Woe, woe to you." He was talking to the Israelites that they are in sin until he saw God, or God revealed himself and he realized that I'm not as holy as I thought. That is how emotional intelligence would expose you. That's so I get angry easily like this. So I get irritated. Now I know that I get irritated easily when I feel that someone is being slow. But I also realize that you are just blessed. If you are naturally smart, you are blessed. You didn't do anything. You didn't pay for it. So just take it and try to be patient to carry people along. So emotional intelligence exposes you. I have a book I bought for my older daughter in 2014 when she was 14, Why We Act the Way We Do. And then 2017, I was on my bed, she gave it to me. I got the message that there's something in the book she thinks I needed. It was in 2017 that I knew my temperament. 2017, I was in my 40s. That was when I knew my temperament. Can you imagine? So that was when I realized that I'm choleric. I am task-oriented and melancholic. We get the job done, but by the time we finish, people are angry. They say we are abrasive. We just talk boom. We don't factor people's emotions. Before I read the book, I said, what is the emotion? Is this not what you're supposed to do? Do you want me to pamper you? I don't have to pamper you. You have to do it. But when I read the book, I realized that as much as it is important to get the job done, you don't trample on people's feelings in getting the job done. So now I'm not perfect. I'm still abrasive, but like I've become aware that, okay, this is how I am. So before I talk, I try to weigh that, no, wait. You first ask, how is the person doing? If the person has not done the job, find out why the person has not done the job. All I want is, okay, so next time, just let us know, because you cannot go to your customer to tell your customer, one of my team members that was supposed to do it was sick, Yeah. So if you're interested in the soft copy of that book, you can also scan my WhatsApp and let me give it to you. You will see it's like a mirror. You see yourself, no wonder when I finish project, people get angry. No wonder when I talk, people say I don't know how to talk, and then you have the phlegmatic, the sanguine that are people-oriented. If you put them on job, if they are the leader, you don't want to offend people. The job can be going wrong. They don't want to offend people. They say, I don't even know how to say. The person may get angry. But as a leader, you need to balance it to know when to have difficult conversation. Difficult conversations are usually not pleasant conversation. But how do you have difficult conversation that the person understands that you are not attacking him or her, then you get the job done. This is like exercise. The more you do, the better you become, and all that. By now, as you are listening, you can tell that I love talking. If it is possible to enroll in a specialized course after becoming PMP, so how long should one wait? You can take it almost immediately. Amen. Amen. You can take it immediately. See, I became a PMI CP certified. What's the date, Clara? Is it 15 or 17th October? And I'm already preparing for another certification. I'm already preparing for another. So you can do it almost immediately. But do it. If you're on this call and you've started your PMP journey, maybe you've done your 35-hour training, let me know how I can help you. If you have not started, my next class is in 2026 by God's grace. I'm just finishing this last class. I may be doing exam prep. Exam prep, what I do is I do power, I call it speed overview. I pick each of the lesson and I do overview of it. Then I treat sample questions with my students. I give them 10 questions on on each lesson, and then when we are done, I give them simulator. The simulator is made up of 41 quizzes of 10 questions each and is time boxed. And then once they finish the 41 quizzes, then they move to the exam. The first one is 50 questions, the next is 100 questions, and then 180 questions, and they are all time boxed. So it prepares you for the exam, and I'm always available to support. Yeah, I love talking. So as a researcher, when I'm moderating focus group, I don't have wahala. And I'm naturally inquisitive. So probing, I'm always probing. Why did you do that? Oh, okay, why? So yeah. Do you have any question? I've ended up talking more than you asking questions. Do you have any question? If you don't have questions, let me know so that we can end the session. I have people on TikTok, so I also need to look at it. So is there any question? No question. This session, where can you get? You can get it from me. I do it virtually. So you can also scan my WhatsApp and let's talk about it. This session will be uploaded on our YouTube on Okin Valley Limited. Okin actually is peacock in my father's language. My father was a Nigerian, a Yoruba man. Is of blessed memory. Is so continue to rest in peace. It was my favorite person. Yeah. So this company is actually registered to honor my dad's memory. Yeah, so it stands for peacock. And go and check the attributes of peacock. Yeah, so check Okin Valley on YouTube. We have all the sessions we've done. In fact, you can even use it to prepare for exam, like revision on quality, cost, and all that. And this one will also be uploaded, and I will share the link once that is done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, one of the ways you can also support is to recommend us. We are premier ATP with PMI. So we train almost all the courses. We train CP, PGMP, PMP, ACP, RMP, CAPM. If you come to me that you want to write PMP and I ask the CAPM and I ask and you have 3 years project management work experience, I will convince you to write CAPM. So for my kids like this, whilst they are undergrads, I involve them in projects. We are going to collect data. They are part of it. Sometimes they make them supervisors, and they didn't know that they were gathering project management work experience. So I lost one of them in 2023. The only one that is left is preparing for her PMP soon. So Okin Valley, Okin Value Limited. So you can check us out. Okay. All right. I think on these notes, we can say that we are done for the day. Is that not so? So thank you for joining. If you want PDU, please scan and provide your PMI ID, your first name and your last name to me today so that I can compile it. God bless you and do have a wonderful evening. And see you next week.
Oh, thank you. God bless you.
All right. Amen. Bye.
Thank you, madam.